Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Here I am in Las Vegas with Greg McTee. Greg runs an international business that's headquartered right here, and we're going to learn more about how he went about creating this business. So, Greg, like most of us, you've had very humble beginnings. In fact, I'm given to understand that he grew up in very trying circumstances. But despite that, he went to the USC, got his degree, and got into work. And how was that work experience for you, and what led you on from there?
Yeah, well, first of all, Sandeep, thanks for coming all the way from India. That was a great trip, and welcome. My background, I was actually originally born in Alaska, a small town of 800 people. But in short, I went to the University of Southern California. It's a big business entrepreneurial school. I actually had to pay for that. My parents were not in a position to do that. I know a lot of the listeners are in similar circumstances. But I knew that was an investment in myself, even as a young person. I was also attracted to the entrepreneurial spirit. And long story short, I came out of there, did commercial real estate, and did very, very well. Came out at a great time. I had a good mentor, and it kind
made a lot of money.
Made a lot of money. Actually, lived in one of the nicest. We lived in Santa Monica, California, which is a very famous beach town. I had 3 sons, and kind of coming up the ladder, kind of like we're taught: work hard, 9 to 5. Save your money, do all these things. And after several years, I realized there's something missing. And what was missing for me, and the challenge when I was young is I grew up in a number of foster homes. So here I am with all the trappings, and I chose a life like a lot of the listeners. I'm gonna go get life instead of being a victim. But what happened was I realized I am looking at my son's picture and my wife on my desk. I'm spending more time looking at their picture at the office than at home. And the light went on. And so with that, that's when I started to explore. I really loved commercial real estate. I was, running a pretty good sized company at the time, had a nice title and all that, but I was never really driven by the money or titles. I was driven by the potential time freedom with the people you love or care about. So I said, okay, I've got to find a franchise. And my initial idea was, I'll find a franchise, I'll buy it, and that business will pay me cash flow. I'll keep doing real estate because I got to pay the bills. But that additional cash flow will free me up, and I can spend more time with the kids and the family, including travel. That was the idea.
So, did you come across this nutraceuticals franchise right at the get-go, or what happened?
Actually, I came across it by accident. So what I did, I was fairly methodical. I went and visited Subway, sandwiches, and I went to McDonald's and Burger King, some of these more famous franchises, and I talked to the owners. And I said, hey, how much does the franchise cost, and how do you like it? What I learned quickly was, one, I couldn't afford the franchise. They were, in the millions of dollars, and that is cash up front. So I said, wow, that's a lot of capital, that's a lot of experience I don't have. And then the other thing I realized from the actual owners, one of them actually laughed at me. I was at Subway Sandwiches, and he said, Greg, I am the owner, but look what I'm doing. And he was putting mayonnaise on a sandwich. I said, why are you doing the sandwiches?
Where's the time for you?
Yeah, and he said, what happened is employees don't show, we have theft, we have insurance. Before I even open my doors, my overhead is tens of thousands of dollars before I make a profit. So your idea of you're going to do real estate and that, it's not going to work. You're going to have to quit your real estate and do that. And I wasn't willing to do that. So what I quickly learned was the traditional franchise method, as amazing as it is, required tons of capital, lots of risk, quite a bit of experience, and a lot of time, and that was not a fit. So I looked into the direct sales industry, the affiliate marketing, and what I found with the company I'm with is they had been in the pharmaceutical industry for 100 years, manufacturer, over 15,000 retail stores, And by chance, they decided to open a nutraceutical division, which to my knowledge has never been done by a pharmaceutical
Now,
company.
before you go further, I just want to clarify, what are nutraceuticals? Because many of our viewers might not even know what is a nutraceutical.
Great question. So nutraceuticals have nothing to do with the pharmacy industry. You have the pharmaceutical industry where a lot of the drugs have to be approved. Many of them have side effects. You know, the people around the world are finding out what those are. The nutraceutical industry, for example, in our vertical, it's a completely all natural plant-based product. These are plants and ingredients that we have had for 10,000 years that have been used, way before the pharmaceutical industry. And so what they are is they are a substitute for the drugs. They actually can reverse type 2 diabetes. They can lower your blood sugar 30%, triglycerides 40%. They can lower cholesterol. All of these things are available. They just haven't been highly publicized because of the drug industry. And from a meaningful standpoint, the ability to resolve obesity or all these challenges that we're seeing globally, to do that naturally with no side effects and yet have the same exact guarantee, I said, wow, and now I'm really adding value to the market. So it wasn't just about the potential financial freedom, but I was really, in my view, adding great value to the market. And I realized in real estate, if you add good value to the marketplace, it's going to be a wonderful ride. So
Correct. So now, when you came across this and you applied your understanding of business and the real estate industry, like you said, what did you find was really giving you the time which you were seeking?
Okay, so what really was the aha moment is when you really find your purpose, when you realize there's something bigger out there. And so when you find that, and sometimes it takes us a while, for me, my why, my big moment, my compelling event was, wow, if I do what these guys say is possible, I can work out of the library in our home, and I can go to every football game, every golf game, every soccer game. I can do date night once or twice a week with my wife. I can start spending all this time. So this was my why, was this is complete time freedom. And I learned in real estate, if you chase the money, super slow to come. But if you focus on the people or the mission, it can grow very rapidly. So that's what attracted me, was this is going to allow me to work remotely from my home, where I can take the kids to school, pick them up when needed. I can go to any soccer game. For example, big joke in our family, when your kids are on the soccer team or the piano team or whatever it is, a tennis team, there's usually a plaque or two. So we have about 40 plaques on the wall, because I had 3 sons and they were all in 2 or 3 sports. And they kind of joked, they're like, Dad, why is it you're in every single picture? And my point is this, because I can.
So were you doing the real estate thing in parallel to this?
Yeah, so what happened there is I was able to transition. I didn't want to leave commercial real estate entirely because it was very profitable and I enjoy real estate. I still have real estate holdings to this day. But what I didn't like is I could not move out of that neighborhood. I was stuck on the freeway 2.5 hours a day, going to and from 9 to 5, 9 to 9, long hours. There was no flexibility there. But I was doing very well. And so I wanted to move into a business that had no financial risk. So the franchises that required a lot of capital up front.
Now those are out of the picture, but you mentioned direct sales.
Yeah.
Now I want to understand this. Direct sales for many of us is like even door-to-door selling, or at least convincing people about things. At least that's what it means to me, or that's a commonly held belief. What exactly is this direct-to-customer thing that you've been doing?
Great question. So the bottom line for hundreds of years is The manufacturer would make a product and then he would sell it to a wholesale rep, and that wholesale rep would send it to a wholesale retailer. The retailer go to a final retailer, and eventually you and I would walk in the store and buy it. So that product that cost $2 to make is now $20 because 10 people are all taking profits out of it before you and I walk in the store. What direct sales is, for example, our company, we make a clinically proven global patented product that reverses most type 2 diabetes and obesity and high blood sugar. We make it physically right here. You're at your home, you push a button, and that product is on your doorstep the next day. So there's all of the middlemen that mark up all the products, that's gone. And so what direct sales is, it allows everyday people like us to go online, purchase that product. It comes directly from the manufacturer to our doorstep.
That's even better than Amazon because it's coming from the manufacturer in this case.
It is better than Amazon because when you go on Amazon, Amazon's already dealing with the manufacturer, so there's already a markup in there. With us, you click on that and you can be in 60 countries. You click. If you're in Dubai, you click and that product's on your doorstep the next day. And like any company.
So how do you start building something like that up?
Great question. So there's two ways to build it. One is a member model, which is very, very common. A member model is where people say, hey, I just love the product. I have no interest in additional income or financial freedom. You know, I'm doing just fine, thank you. And they'll click and they'll become a member and they will consume that product for years at a time. Right. We'll earn a royalty on that because they learned of the product through me. The second area which was fascinating to me was I knew with the preventative healthcare industry over $400 billion, and we saw the explosion of obesity and type 2 diabetes all within the last 25 years. And that's primarily due to the modern food environment. It didn't exist 30 years ago.
Right.
You know, you go back and look at the pictures that, you know, we didn't have that issue. So I liked the second model, which not only allowed me to acquire members, but I knew a lot of people that were doing well, but were seeking an additional income. But they didn't have the money, the time, the knowledge, and the wherewithal to go buy a business. So the ability to move into our business very gradually without any financial risk, without any of the traditional risk once it's going, and with virtually no overhead. The other thing that was intriguing was in our direct sales, because of the online purchasing, I'm making money while I sleep. I mean, that's just incredible. I was unable to do that. So wonderful life here, wonderful life there, but what happened was now I had tons of free time, not only match the real estate income, but could take my income from the business and buy real estate and provide for the family a little bit more. So
about how long did it take for your nutraceutical business online to match your commercial real estate?
Yeah, so for me, and this was a while back, we did not have the technology that we had.
Oh.
For example, now we have technology where if you can text, you
so
can
let's talk about now. Let's say there's somebody who's associated with you in India like I am.
Yeah.
How long does it typically take to match that kind of?
Okay, so I don't know if it's a good analogy because I had some pretty high incomes, but it took me just under a year so I spent, 15 years in real estate getting to this level, and within 1 year I was able to match the income. And at that point, that's when I decided to put more effort into my direct sales business because, like anything, what you focus on is what it'll be. Now, with some of the newer technology right now, where you can send a text to Dubai or London, you might have a family member there, they click on it, it changes the flag to their country, it's in their native language, they click and buy and you make money. Things are moving much faster. We're seeing that with AI and things. So I have seen several people that are on my team duplicate what I did in 120 days. So things are moving faster. And that's a good thing because most traditional businesses, not the direct sales, but a traditional business where you go out and put, like a McDonald's or some of these big ones, some of these companies can go out 3, 5, 6 years and you're still not profitable because of the amount of investment it took. So there's a lot of risk there. what's unique here is the ability to minimize risk, leverage all of the technology that the Airbnb and Apple
No,
and
I
Microsoft have.
completely get that.
Yeah.
Now, what Greg has told me, which I want to share with you guys, is that because he's got the time and because he's fueled by that kind of purpose, he's willing to invest his time in people who want to take that 120-day track. And if you're one of them, then you've got to be responding to whatever links and numbers you find in the description here, because we're going to work together as a team and get you on that 120-day plan. But Greg, what does it take to start? What's the kind of investment like? What's the kind of commitment you need?
Before I hit that, the one thing I would share with somebody is it's got to be the right time in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's unique about our business is I work remotely. So we have property in the Hawaiian Islands, we have property in California. So first of all, the ability to work remotely from anywhere in the world. You could decide on, if I'm in India on Monday in Delhi with all the traffic, I'm going to go to Goa on Tuesday. This is things that we dream about. This is happening every single day in our industry, not because we're smarter, brighter, or sharper, because we stepped out of our comfort level. Most people are fearful. When they're fearful, they move away. They say, oh, not for me. Your friends, sometimes your best family members who love you to death say, well, that's not for you. You're a real estate guy. Why would you go into healthcare? So we have these people around us that love us, but we have a tendency to listen to all the noise. And what you really got to do is say, hey, if I can work remotely, if I can provide a better education, a better life for my family, and I can do that for the rest of my life and live anywhere in the world, that's something to consider, because that's exactly what's going on. In terms of the actual cost, a couple things happen. When we sit and share the business, what will happen is, worst case scenario, somebody says, hey, listen, I'm blessed, I don't have a financial need, which is very rare, by the way. But in that case, they would become a member, they would try the product. We have a 90-day money-back guarantee that it does all of these things. And we're also in the physician desk reference book. So a great number of partners that come in are medical doctors, simply because our product is clinically proven. It's in the physician desk reference book. And if it's not in there, they don't want to talk about it. Right. So to have an all-natural alternative attracts some of the highest and best professionals. But just to try the product, it could be anywhere on the low end of $30, for one of our products, all the way up to one of our super packs, which is around $150. Now, if somebody wants to look at the business, they say, hey, Greg, listen, let me try the product for a month. I was able to sit down with you. I can see what you've done. Numbers don't lie. If I want to consider the business, what would be my next step? That's where we sit down and we build a strategy around their goals. We have an existing system, so there's no guesswork. A lot of people, our parents tell us what to do. Yeah. Our professors tell us what to do, and then we go to work at a big company and the boss tells you what to do. So when you start your own direct sales company, you don't know what to do. But the good thing is we have a system. So we sit down, we have an existing system that works globally. It's very simple. If you can text anybody, you're in business. But there is a very specific strategy. They would, for example, consider getting a 10-pack. That would run around $1,500, $1,600 US. But that 10-pack, it allows you to kind of assemble the team. So you usually have that investment back in a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. So people always talk about, well, what's my return on investment? I mean, within a month, I not only recouped my initial investment, which was, the initial product, so I could share and start to put a team together, but I was in the black. Mm. And in a traditional business, if I'm forking out a lot of money, it takes years to capture. Yeah. So it's kind of up to them. They can start very lightly or a little bit more on the heavier end, but either way, they're going to be probably in the black in about 30 days. Mm. And the other thing is, it could be the biggest thing they've ever done.
Because it's driven by purpose.
Yes.
That's step one. Why do you want to do what you want to do? Why do you want to be free? Yeah. And then you've got Greg to help you, and there, of course. And we're talking about an investment between $100 and $1,500.
Yeah.
That's it.
Kind of wherever they want to start. Yeah.
And are there recurring costs? Do you have to like?
If you're building a global business, you're looking at about $100 per month in overhead, which is kind of a joke. But yeah, there are some requirements, and
$100 a month.
$100, yeah, they're pretty low. So.
And a global business?
Yeah, global business. For example, I have income from 15 different countries, and the most exciting thing is not only traveling to these countries, but breaking bread, like with you, learning about India or Singapore or Hong Kong, Vietnam. We're open in all of Europe, Dubai. So, very, very exciting.
Very exciting. And on that exciting note, I think we're going to let you guys take action. Go down to the description, get in touch with me, and let's take the next steps for you. This is as awesome as it sounds. Thank you so much, Greg.
You're welcome.
That was a good conversation.
All right. Thank
Have
you,
a great
Sandy.
day, guys.